So, on behalf of First Parish in Needham, I'm Carl Fransechi, a member of the Property Committee, and I'd like to present this project for our steeple preservation. First of all, we'd like to thank the Community Preservation Committee, especially our liaison, Joe Barnes, and we certainly appreciate their endorsement and recommendation of this project and appreciate their recommendation for your consideration at this We'd like to begin with a little history of the church because, as you see by this timeline, it's closely entwined with the town of Needham. And as we say actually at our service every Sunday, the First Parish was founded along with the town of Needham in 1711. As was the custom back then, you couldn't have a town unless you had a church. And following that, our history has been, as I say, closely associated with the town through anniversaries and public celebrations and so forth. Specifically, our first meeting house was built, as I say, in 1711. It fell victim to a fire. A second meeting house was built in 1774. That one was hosted the 100th anniversary when a Paul Revere bell was installed in the bell tower, a bell which we still have to this day. And that building was replaced by the current structure in 1836. It was built, though, not in its current location, but actually near Central and Nahoyden, where the town center was at that time before Wellesley broke off. And then the structure was literally rolled across town to its current location when the center of town was moved to its current location here at Dedham Ave and Great Plain. As we noted in this timeline, the church has hosted several townwide celebrations, including the 200th anniversary, 250th, and the 300th anniversary as well. As noted here too, in preparation for that 300th anniversary, our church undertook a $3 million renovation addition project, which included in residing of the sanctuary in Lower Church and the repainting of the steeple. But it is time to address that steeple once again right now, as you'll see subsequently. We do want to point out, though, that First Parish is the oldest public building in Needham. There's a plaque outside the church there on Dedham Ave. And there's a photo of the Paul Revere bell, which is, as we say, still up in that bell tower, and we do ring it when we are meeting in the sanctuary every Sunday and on other special occasions. Here are some close-ups, though, of the current conditions of the building. You'll see that it's definitely in need of some attention. There's staining, there's peeling paint. Some of the wood is now exposed to the weather and vulnerable to future decay if left untreated. And I should point out too that the building is structurally sound and weather tight. Back when we did the renovations, we did have a structural review of the building, and there were some minor repairs like this column inside the bell tower. And we also put in a fully soldered copper roof on the floor under the bell itself there. So the building is, as we say, sound and weather tight. But what we'd like to do now is really upgrade the steeple and do it in a way that's comparable to the rest of the church that we renovated, as we say, over 10 years ago. Specifically, what we'd like to do is upgrade it with more modern, durable materials, longer lasting materials, ones that will look better longer and require less maintenance, and all the while still maintaining the historic look of the church. So specifically, the project involves the exterior of the bell tower from the lower roof on up. And on the right, it has more specific mention and areas of repair. So for the horizontal wood siding, we'd like to replace that with a pre-finished fiber cement board known as hardy plank for the flat trim pieces on the corners and horizontal flat trim. We'd like to replace that with a white PVC material known as AZEC that doesn't require painting. And there are areas, more decorative areas of the cornice and brackets and dentils that would be painted. And then finally at the top, the green metal dome would be recoated as well as part of the. Here's a view of some of those same materials that we used on the lower sanctuary. So you can see the horizontal siding is that hardy plank siding. The flat trim on the corners is the AZEC flat trim. And then there's some dentils and cornice work that was painted, as we said, and still looks good after 10 years there. So again, we believe this project falls into the category of preservation. It's not simply maintenance, because it will preserve the tower for generations to come, keep it looking better, longer, and again, requiring less future maintenance. Here's the budget that we put together with our application for this grant last December, actually. It is a budget. We're waiting for this resolution of this to actually get hard quotations from contractors, but we did work with Steeple Jackson putting these numbers together, and we believe the project, as we say, is in the vicinity of a total of $95,000 to $100,000. We are grateful that the CPC has recommended funding this project to the tune of $50,000, and our congregation will fund the balance. Again, just to reiterate what we feel are the community benefits of the project, it's clear from this aerial photograph how integral First Parish is to the center of town. It's diagonally opposite the town common and town hall. Really a landmark and part of the, as we say, the fabric of the center of the town. But more than just aesthetics too, we think this falls very clearly into the CPC's category of preservation of historic resources, because it is a building that is significant in the history, architecture, and culture of the town. That's right from the regulations. We also will continue to participate in numerous civic events and continue to sponsor public educational events for public school children that come through every year. We also host a number of nonprofit organizations, and we do have a ballet school and a preschool in the building as and as part of the agreement with this grant, we anticipate even additional public tours in the future, and we'll work with the Historic Commission and the town to make that happen. So again, thank you very much for your attention, and we look forward to your support. Thank you.